I know nothing about 90s hairstyles, 90s hairdos, but I've tried to make my hair look as 90s as possible. I feel like these wee bits here need to be glued. You know, like the strings that you used to have. And they were like gelled. So yeah, 90s makeup tutorial. I feel like I've done one of these before, but it was more of my modern take on 90s makeup. But today I'm wanting to do like a literal 90s inspired makeup tutorial. I have done my brows off camera and I've tried to do them as thin as possible. They're still not thin, but so what I done was I just went on to Google and Pinterest, and I just typed in 90s makeup, and to be honest, like not that much came up that I wanted to actually recreate. Like a couple did. I'm going to kind of combine the two of them, so I'm just going to start and prep my skin first of all. I also noticed that with 90s complexion there really wasn't a lot of bronzing and contouring. It was quite pale skin. Well, if you had pale skin, I think that's what I mean. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is like there wasn't a lot of like bronzer and contour and stuff like that. It was more more like a blushed look, big bold outlined lip, and I'm gonna try white eyeshadow. And I'm also do you know, I also seen a lot of eyebrow piercings. I never had an eyebrow piercing, but I'm going to give myself a fake eyebrow piercing. This is the First Aid Beauty Coconut Skin Permanent Moisturiser. And then for foundation, this is the Catrice True Skin Foundation. This one here. I'm obviously going to be trying to have my base as 90s inspired as possible, but still kind of keeping to my routine. Like I'm going to be keeping the coverage the same, and I'm going to be keeping it full of glam and whatnot, using a bit of contour and highlight, blush, etc., but not going too crazy or too ham. Every time I use this foundation I'm always shocked and blown away with how beautiful it is. Every time. So just out of interest, who is a 90s baby? So I'm 93, so I didn't, like, yeah, I grew up in the 90s, but I grew up in the 90s still pissing myself because I was probably still in nappies. But yeah, like come the end of the 90s, I would have been in school, like just starting school. I think in 1999 I was in P1. Gonna take a mixture of two concealers, the Huda Beauty Faux Filter, the HMB Soft Focus Concealer. So just taking the HMB first. But yeah, I was definitely like too young to kind of like, yeah, I grew up in the 90s, but like, too young to like understand anything or to have a sense of style. I'm using these like really light concealers just to really brighten my under eyes. I'm not going to do a lot of cream bronzing, contour and anything, but I'm still going to use a wee bit. So taking this one from NARS, this is the Laguna bronzing cream. And then of course us 93 babies, we're coming 30 this year. Or are you already 30? Kai's brother just turned 30 a couple of weeks past there, and then I'm 30 in August. And that, I'm not too sure whether I've actually mentioned or said anything, but that's why we're going to Bali, by the way, like for both of our birthdays. I'm so excited. So basically, yeah, like Bali's for my 30th and his 30th, so. Just blend in a wee bit more of that concealer on, just when whatever is left on the sponge, because I didn't want too much of like the bronziness to be brought up, because like the inspiration pictures that I was looking at on Google didn't seem to have like a lot of bronziness or anything going on around in the skin, especially in the cheek area. It was just like quite nearly stark white under eyes and just like a really powdery look as well, actually. But I'm still just wanting to do a wee bit of cream bronzing to just tie everything together. Taking my Couture spun now, just going to do a wee bit of Becca. Just my under eyes, around my mouth. Just the usual. I'm going to use this wee Jordana Tisha blush. I actually think this is discontinued, but it's in the shade Honey Pie. I'm trying to go for like 90s colours as well. Like I haven't a clue what to do for the lips. I have a couple of like really dark lip liners and I was thinking of maybe just like smudging them and then just applying a gloss. Or I noticed that like really nice grungy reds and burgundies were also quite popular as well. Also picked this wee blush here because it's got a wee bit of a shimmer to it, so it just means that I don't need to go in with any highlight, so it's kind of a bit of a hybrid between my blush and highlight. It's really pretty actually, and you would think that it'd be quite dark on the skin. Like it does look quite intimidating depending on what skin tone you are, but it's actually really nice once you get it on, and that's why I'm using it with like a big fluffy brush so that it is quite diffused and blown out, and so it's not just like focused in one wee area. But yeah, it's really nice, and there's just such a there's such a really nice like wee glow off it as well. Bronzer, this is a Morphe and a Vanna Greg. Is it a Vanna Greg? Yeah. 90's baby. Are you a 90's baby? That's one thing that I think that was just awful about the 90's, and I'm so sorry. Please don't come for my throat. But you see the 90's music, awful. And that's obviously just my opinion. I personally feel like the best music that came out of the 90's was Spice Girls. But oh my god. Like, see the 70's music. The 70's and the 80's music is actually better than today's music. Like 70's, 80's, even like 60's music. Oh. Brilliant, absolutely fantastic. I have no control over my body whenever like certain 60s, 50s, or not, like 60s, 70s, 80s music comes on. But 90s, I don't know what happened. It definitely was like a new era, new stage of music, you know, new sounds and stuff, but eek. Don't get me wrong, like it wasn't all bad. It wasn't all bad. White eyeshadow, white pearlized glittery shadow, baby blue eyeshadow, really cool toned eyeshadow I feel was very popular in the 90's. Well, that's just what I could tell from like the inspirational pictures and everything, so that's why I'm just going to go for like a pure white lid. Which I think is quite nice actually. I think it'll be quite different. I've never done anything like this before. I was looking to see if I had like a white P. Louise base or anything. I'm not too sure, does P. Louise do a white base? Anyway, so I have here the Colourpop Shadow Sticks, and this is in the shade Cold Girl, and this is a metallic, so it has like a wee bit of glitter through it. So I'm just going to pop this like all over the lid. I feel like this will be quite nice, and then I'm going to top it with a white eyeshadow. I feel like this is also just going to, yeah, mix in with whatever I have on my lids already, which is the P. Louise eyeshadow base, because that's what I carved my brows out with. But oh well. If you get these wee shadow sticks from Colourpop, there's a sharpener in the bottom of all of them, by the way, but I just roll it up. Oh, shut up! Every damn day. I honestly thought moving out to the country it would have been so quiet, because I used to live in an estate. I grew up in an estate, and like all I ever have wanted is just peace and quiet. It's all I've ever wanted. Just a really nice, content, quiet life. And I thought I would I thought I would have got that moving out to the country, but never. Whenever I was living in the estate did I ever have to just sit here and wait for dogs to stop barking, people making all kinds of noise. I'm sorry for ranting, but I've no one else to rant to. So I'm going to try and like blend that out a wee bit, but I'm going to still keep it like somewhat tacky as well, so it has, so the shadow has like something to stick to. I'm going to go into the Morphe 18CT Matte Essentials palette. This is of course the cool toned one, and I'm going to go into this white eyeshadow. I'm also not being too perfect as well, by the way, because I feel with 90s makeup, like it wasn't completely like done, like perfect, if that makes sense, which that's what I like about it. So I'm just going to be quite rough with just putting this just all over my lids. Do you know what I would love to do? I would love to do this. I thought of doing this over on Instagram, like Instagram stories, but the way Instagram stories works now, it would just be an absolute disaster. I suppose I could maybe go live, but then I don't know. But anyway, like, could you imagine I was sitting here doing this 90s makeup, playing like 90s tunes, top 90s music, just music from the 90s, and then if I'd done an 80s makeup tutorial and I was able to play 80s music, like all the 80s tunes, 80s top charts, 60s makeup look, 60s music, 70s makeup, 70s music, and then into like the noughties, the 2000s makeup, and all like the top hits and stuff from the noughties. And then I could have done like different genres, so I could do like an R&B like makeup look with like noughties R&B music, or like grunge and rock, or, but of course you can't do that because of copyright. that would be so sick, like that would be so fun. But I think it would actually be fun, or more fun, sorry, if it was actually like live streamed. That would be class. But I don't think it's anything I would actually do though, so if anybody wants to take that idea and run with it, have fun. Enjoy. I'm going to go into this Becca palette. This was definitely brought out from the archives. So I'm going to take this shimmery white in the centre. I'm just going to put this all over the lid. I swear to God, I fucking hate this fucking thing. I swear to God, I hate. I love these Made by Mitchell pencil liner things, but they are a nightmare to sharpen. I don't know whether it's because of my silly wee sharpeners that I have. So annoying. Right, so eyeliner. So I might actually come back to the eyeliner, but I'm going to go into the Morphe palette again and take the black. I'm going to be keeping it quite tight to the lash line as well. I was thinking of maybe just doing like a wee straight out wing. Some Tarte Lights Caramel Lashes mascara. This one here. I'm just going to be using these like wee cat eye type lashes. While they're getting tacky, I'm going to tackle my lips. I have 3 lip liners here. I have 2 from Colourpop, CTRL and BFF4. So they're obviously both quite dark. BFF4, CTRL. What does that stand for? Is that supposed to be like CTRL? Central? Control? Who knows? Oh no, what was that one? Yeah, so so that one is CTRL. There's not much in them shades. And then I have this one from Technique. This one looks really pretty. I feel like if it is just a wee bit darker, it would be perfect for that really nice like wine burgundy red grungy lip. That's it there. You see what I mean? See if it was a wee bit darker. If they were mixed together, that's what I'm looking for. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna mix them together. I think I'm gonna use CTRL. I'm also just gonna take my finger. So this is the So Glassy lip gloss from Colourpop in the shade Lucid Dreams. Oh, piss off. The head. Oh no. Just gonna have to use the plastic thing, rod, whatever. Obviously these next steps are completely optional, by the way. This is just the makeup. If you want to just leave it like this, boom, what do we think? But I'm going to add some few wee bits and bobs. That is completely optional. Not everybody's going to like or whatever. That's completely fine. Oh no, where'd I put it? I think. Oh my god, it doesn't want to stick because of my eyebrow hairs. Frig. So once they're on, I'm just going to get like the back of the wee tweezer or just like a flat surface and just press and hold. I kind of feel like it's all coming together, right? Yes! Do I look like the newest member of No Doubt? I love it. I absolutely love it. I just feel like, I don't know. I don't know, I absolutely love it. I do feel like a wee bit like an idiot, the fact that I've got like these on my eyebrows, but I'm all chuffed, can you tell? I'm well chuffed with how this has turned out, you know. Happy Friday, guys. I hope you have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you in my next one.